This other voice started tuning in, was loud, started getting louder. The more I drove to Buffalo, was saying, you get to face a lot of shit, young man. You got a long journey ahead of you because you're going to find out that while your dad did a lot of shit to you, you're going to have to make it on your own.
No one's going to come back and say, hey, man, I apologize. Maybe someone does. Very few people will. So at the end of the day, when all of these are said and done with, while my dad was the devil, and I believed that for a long time, I had to confront him. And when I confronted the devil, so what I thought was the devil, I realized that I was the true devil. I was the one holding me back. I was the one looking for the scapegoat. And I was the one looking for all these ways to say, it's okay, David. You're a loser, you're a born loser, so it's okay. And I was hoping my dad was going to give me that confirmation. And he was a loser himself, but at the end of the day, when I left there, I realized, well, shit, man, this is on me. My dad's f***ed up, my mom's f***ed up, the people around me are f***ed up. They're not going to save you. You got to save yourself, my friend.
Because this world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world and the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor. It will try to take you out. It will find your weakness and it will just hammer you. Okay, I had to realize I had to take a stand. I had to make a real stand. You have to want it. You have to want to be a stronger version of yourself. I can't give you that. That's something that you have to want. You have to have a desire and a hunger and a dog in you that wants to become a stronger human being. You don't need shit. You need the ability to grind your ass into a fine powder. And when you're in that fine powder, find a way to build that back up repeatedly. And it's possible. You can. So either you can sit here and not and think about that for a whole year until you come back here and do this, or you can go out there for yourself and take some kind of pride in knowing that you could and you did. If you're willing to suffer and go back in the grind, that internal dialogue you have with yourself when you're in misery and you're uncomfortable, it's a real, scary, unfiltered, no lying dialogue between you and yourself. And people know exactly what the I'm talking about when you're in a bad spot in life and your mind is saying all kind of shit. That's who you really are. That's the real you. That's where the growth happens. When you're able to stay in that moment and talk yourself back into the suck of wherever you're going through, and you start stripping those layers away, but as you're stripping those layers away, you're building calluses over top of shit in your mind. That's where the growth starts to happen, is when you have to force yourself to stay in it. You can't leave it. The moment I decided to change my life, what inspired the change was basically I was sitting at home and I was about 300 pounds and I was watching a Discovery Channel show about these guys going through BUDS, which is basic underwater demolition SEAL training. So I'm watching these guys in the water and they're going through Hell Week, and it just made me feel extremely small because I was afraid of the water. I was afraid of a lot of different things at that time. And I just wanted to see. So at the end of the show, what happens is you see these 18 or so guys graduate. And I just had this feeling in my heart that I wanted to know how that felt to sit in that chair. I saw so many guys quitting. So many guys were quitting during Hell Week and quitting during the second phase and third phase. And those last 18 guys that survived all the training, I wonder how it felt to be one of them. So that feeling of seeing how it felt to be one of them is kind of what drove the change for me. I had to make a decision to either sit here and continue watching people become great, or to take or to bet on myself and become great on my own terms. One gift I have is I have the ability to see the end before the beginning even begins. And what that means is I know that to get to the very end, I can see it right now. So before I went to BUDS and I was losing all this weight and shit, I saw myself walking across the stage at 191 pounds, 'cause that's what I had to get to get into the door. I saw myself 6 months, a year later, whatever it's gonna take me to do it, I saw myself walking across that stage, getting that certificate of graduation from BUDS. And I was able to be there at 300 pounds. And that feeling that I was nowhere near that feeling. I was able to put myself there 1,000,000 times every day. And that feeling of like, my God, that is going to feel amazing. That's what made me suffer. That's what allowed the pain to be real and say, this is worth it. I want to feel for this next 18 months. It took me 18 months to finally become a Navy SEAL, to finally, just get through buds. 18 months, it's 6 months. It took me 18. That's what woke me up every morning was, I'm gonna put myself through this much pain and suffering for a few seconds. That's all it is. A few seconds of joy. And it's so worth it, man. That's what people don't get. So I'm able to put myself at the finish line, even though I have no finish line, but at the finish line of an event before I even start the motherfucker, say, how are you gonna feel at the end of this? A lot of people sit back and they dream about being a sports figure, or dream about being a SEAL, or dream about being an astronaut. And all it is a motherfucking dream. They don't put the work behind the dream. That dream has become their master. When you become the master of your dream is when you say, I want to go be a Navy SEAL. And you say, okay, I'm going to lose 106 pounds in less than 3 months. The dream was the one thing I thought about, and the dream was now gone. Now, what comes in, the dream goes away, and the laundry list of details and tasks come up. Gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. That's when you become the master of your dream. You can achieve the absolute impossible. You don't need great parents. You don't need like a private school. You don't need to have this humongous GPA and all this other shit. What you need is the one thing I talked about in my book, which is straight up brutal work ethic. You have to be willing to outwork everybody in the world. When you really sit back at your life and you are in that dark room and you're looking at where you started from and you tell yourself, God, dog, man, my mom is this way, my soon-to-be stepdad got murdered, my dad beat the shit out of me, I can't read and write to save my soul, I've lied about it to everybody, I've cheated on all these tests. My God, man. And then you put a goal in your mind. How are you gonna feel, man, when you accomplish this goal coming from that shit? Coming from the hell you came from. A lot of people start from a good starting point. They have a good foundation. What if you can surpass all of these motherfuckers? What if everybody who was way up here started up here, and you started with no legs. You had to grow legs to even start walking, and then crawling, and then running, and then you start passing people and all this given to them. I had to use all this negative shit that was making me weak and horrible as a person. I had to use this as the power that now fueled me. I had to flip it on its head and say, hold up, this might be exactly what I need. The darkness is exactly what I need. It's how you look at your situation. And I was looking at it all up. I absolutely hated running, but I knew for me to grow, I had to do this thing every single day. I wanted to start callousing my mind. I wanted to start becoming a better person. And how you become a better person, how you gain mental toughness, how you become the person you want to be, is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face. If you constantly run away from things that you don't want to face, how is there growth? How is there mental toughness? I can give you a class all day long about self-talk, visualization, eat an elephant one bite at a time. But if you're never putting yourself in a situation to actually practice these things, you're never going to grow. I can't put you out there we're all going through a battle in our mind. A warrior is not a person that carries a gun. The biggest war you're ever going through is right between your own ears. It's in your mind. We're all going through a war in our mind, and we have to callous our mind to fight that war and to win that war.
You have to do your best work when you're the least motivated. So those days you don't want to do it, guess what you got to do? You got to suck it the up and do it.
What's amazing about the human mind is that it becomes your new norm. Like to think that I can run 200 miles, 240 miles, and that becomes like running 50. I never thought that was possible. This is why I'm always pushing that limit, because I know that within pushing these limits, there's always more. There always had to be a new norm. So one thing we don't do is we don't have a new norm. My new norm is you get up every morning at 4 o'clock and you suffer. This is your new norm. That became my new life. Most people want to get out of it. I said, no, mother, this is your new life. This is who you are. Your new norm is you wake up and you suffer. And I started realizing if that's my mentality, this shit ain't hard anymore. It was like, you're not done yet, mother. Once the mind knows you're not going to quit something, it's going to try to find more. It's going to try to give you more. Once it realizes you're not going to take the path of least resistance, you're going to stay here until it's done. My mind and my body and my spirit became one for the first time ever. For the first time ever, it became one. And I went to a level that I never thought was humanly possible for myself or anybody else. In that shape that I was in, I was able to run 19 miles. And I ran 19 miles, did 100 miles, actually did one more mile. I did 101 miles in 18 hours and 56 minutes. I'd overcome so many obstacles in my life, and this was the final crucible for me. And I got through it. What has helped me has been me alone, getting my shit together and being accountable for who I'm not and who I want to be. You have to really analyze your life, because I guarantee you, most of the things that we're going through, someone else has already gone through. So what one person can do, another can do. And it's important that we believe that you are not alone in this journey. You're not the first person to go through what you're going through. Whether it's death, illness, whatever you're dealing with, a learning disability, you're fat, you're bullied, you are not the first person to endure whatever you're going through. So what that means is this: you are just as tough as all the other people that have endured what you are enduring right now. So always stay in the fight.
A lot of us don't believe that we're free. We live as prisoners in our minds. You don't need to be the military to be a warrior. You gotta realize something. A lot of us are familiar with the economic recession. We can't do shit about it. But what we don't realize is this: we're in a mental recession. It's time for us to realize that we need to attack. We need to attack whatever's in front of us. A lot of people are getting weaker right now. It's time for us to get stronger. That mental recession. Everybody has a savage mentality. It's a primal instinct, whether you believe it or not. We all have it. I'm trying to hurt every mother feelings in the world. Anybody who thought I wasn't gonna be somebody, it's never enough. Like a dog. I got a little bulldog at home, and I can't feed that mother enough food. That's me. I leave no scraps on the table for anyone to pick up. And that's the mentality that you must have if you want to be great. Many people will try to dehumanize you. It's up to you to find self-respect and dignity in yourself. You don't need a uniform to have honor. You need to have pride in yourself, dignity.
Live your life with character, honor, and discipline. I believe in self-discipline, self-pride, self-motivation. No one has that self anymore. That self is gone. So how I do every day is how I do every day. It's a discipline, it's a regimen, it was a choice I made. And the choice I made was, what are you willing to sacrifice, and what are you willing to give up to find every bit of who you are as a human being? And I was willing to give everything to do that.
If you want to push harder, know this: your mind quits way before your body does. So you have to be willing to go way into that darkness and find more of yourself.
Our minds are like a garage. And the garage, if you open a garage and it's all cluttered up, it's all up, you can't put your car in there. You got boats and you got kids' toys and shit everywhere. But if you organize that garage and you put everything in its rightful spot, you can put that car in there. You can put 2 cars in there. You can put bikes in there. And that's like with the mind. People talk about discipline and determination and, repetitions and all this shit. Consistency. Why people fall off the wagon so often is because their mind is full of shit. There's no room in that mind for discipline. There's no room for consistency. They may do it once or twice, but then the mind takes over and that cluttered garage comes in. And then it's like a circuit breaker, man. A circuit breaker just overloads and sparks. And our minds, that's our mind, man. It's like a circuit breaker that has so much shit in it. You keep unloading it. You can't put any more into it. So I talk about it in there, man, so much about clearing space in your mind so then you have room for all those discipline, waking up early, taking those, because they do mean something. But we don't get to that dark matter that is keeping you from clearing out that mental garage. If your life is not organized, and your life being everything around you, because it takes one little piece of an outside interference to clutter your whole mind. And people don't get that. Your mind has to always be clear. That's why I meditate 2 hours every single night, because I refresh, I reorganize the garage, which is my mind, every night. So then discipline's in there, organization, everything is in this right spot. So when I wake up, I'm ready to go. Our mind wants to protect us. The mind is like, honestly, it has a tactical advantage over us. It knows our deepest, darkest fears or insecurities. It knows where we start to feel, we start getting that doubt creeping that says, hey, man, you know what, man, maybe this isn't good. Let's go back home to the wife. Let's go back home to the kids. This is not comfortable. So in that moment, the mind directs us. It's a protective mechanism. It saves us from doing bodily harm, or it really saves us from discovering that the mind's like, I want to be in charge of you. I don't want you to be in charge of me. So it tells you, let's just stop right here. But once you start breaking through that barrier and start breaking down that governor that you've put in your mind, because we forget we are in control of our mind. We believe it's the other way around. No, we put in our minds what we should do, but we believe our mind is telling us, it's giving us all this feedback. We have to reprogram it and tell us, no, we're good. We're good, this sucks, but it's okay. Once you take control of your mind, you start making decisions for yourself versus your mind making decisions for you. Continue to grind, continue to push limits, continue to test myself, my soul, my mind, my body, and my spirit to the fullest I can, because there is no limit to the human mind, but I will be the mother try to find it. Maximize minimal potential. People look at me and say, man, that's bullshit. You got a lot of potential. No, I have a lot of accomplishments that I utilize my maximum potential. I maximize every bit I have to be where I'm at today. That's why I'm not balanced. I don't take days off. I don't have that wiggle room that some people do. And a lot of you don't either. So you got to make that shit up somewhere. Work your ass off so you can enjoy. Yeah, you're taking a shot. You know, you may not live to be old, but what if you do? And you worked your ass off when you were able, and you were able to get up early, able to grind. If you front load it properly, the back half of your life is money.
Let's approach our goals this year with a different mindset, a surgical mindset. When I was in elementary, our science teacher had us get in a glass and put in the sink. He said, before you go to bed, turn the faucet on so this one drip gets into that cup. And by the time you wake up, it'll be full of water. He was teaching us about volume. I didn't learn shit about volume that day. I learned about patience. All I wanted to do was turn that faucet on and fill that glass up. That's not how our goals go. Our goals don't go fast like that. They go like that drip of water. But what I took from it is this. That drip of water was building that endurance in your mind. That drip of water was building that calluses in your mind. And that's what we need to have. This is a slow process. And that drip of water taught me that.
And what that looks like, it looks scary. To wake up every day and say, I'm stupid, but I want to figure out a way to be smarter. Versus saying, man, I just can't do that. So you limit this box. So your box becomes so small of things you can do. My box wasn't even a box. It was a little pinhole. And then through examining myself, getting some willpower, some courage, it became bigger than this table. A lot of people, man, how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I asked myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting. So a lot of people can take one more step, but they choose not to. I don't know if you can take 2 steps. You got to answer that question after you take the first step. But I can always take one more step. So if I choose not to, that's on me. And I got to live with that.
If you pan it down here, you see it's about 3 o'clock in the morning and there's not a car or a person in sight. If you pan over here, it's the same thing. Not a car or a person in sight. People want to know where I find my strength at, where I get my strength. I get it from a lot of places, but right now, this morning, I'm getting it from, there's not a mother that's up. There's not a car, there's not a person. Everybody's in their bed, sleep, dreading that it's a Monday, hate it's a Monday. And I'm loving it. I'm loving that. Where everybody's getting weaker, I'm getting stronger. It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on a daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the after it every daggone day.
There's no hacks, bro. It's you against you. We are judging ourselves against too many people. You have to judge yourself against yourself. And that's the one thing I started learning, man. This isn't a race against me and Rich Roll. This is a race against David Goggins and David Goggins alone. And once you can silence all that bullshit, all the outside interference and things that are attracting your mind to everything, you can then start to grow in realizing I'm stressed out for no reason. This is my own little race. This is my own timeline, and this is how I'm going to run it. There is no get out of jail free card. This is why I say stay hard. Because when you weren't given the gifts, the only thing you can do in life is stay hard. This is all you can do. There's no magic pill or a magic potion. All you can do is outwork the man that God created or woman in you.
When you're trying to get better in life, the grind's forever. There is no end. There is no countdown. As long as you're breathing, you gotta keep trying to get better. The refrigerator's never full. You've never arrived in life. It's never enough. There's zero finish line. People want to know how to get permanent, lasting results. This shit's not easy. Some folks go from heavy to losing weight, back to heavy again. Some folks go from lazy to studs, back to lazy. The list goes on and on and on. A lot of folks take the 4-lane highway to get their results. The 4-lane highway is just that. It's the easy route. On that highway, they have road signs. 5 miles up, hotel. 10 miles up, restaurant. Restrooms, all that shit. It's the easy roadmap to success. Nothing there's permanent. But the other choice that makes permanent is the shovel. That shovel leaves you with calluses on your brain, on your hands. They're permanent. Pick up the shovel. This isn't for anyone looking for a break. There is no finish line, so stop looking for one. Don't believe if you work your ass off that one day you'll hit that finish line. There's only one finish line in life, and that is death. We must find our limits in everything we do to push slightly beyond it. Remember this, just because you worked your ass off, it doesn't mean we will achieve what you've been working for. Very true to the mindset to work their ass off with no guaranteed success. Never expect immediate results. Have an endurance mindset. You're going to stay in the suck longer than anyone else. True victory comes when there are no crowds and no finish lines. The real victory is your willingness to work your ass off while no one is watching. Mediocrity feels so good. So we love surrounding ourselves with mediocre people that give us a get out of jail free card. Whenever life gets hard for us, they tell us it's okay. Don't worry about it. We don't want to surround ourselves with those people out there who are getting the after every day, holding us accountable, making us feel uncomfortable. People who are challenging us at every turn of life. Those people scare us. That's exactly where you need to be in your life, with those people who put you in a world of questioning who you are. That's exactly where you want to go. That's exactly where you grow. In that good time of year, we start to feel real good about ourselves. Start to feel great. So we start making promises to ourselves about, hey, I'm gonna lose some weight. I'm gonna do better in school. I'm gonna be better here, be better there. But guess what happens? The real Merry Christmas happens when all of that noise is gone, it's quiet, and it's you against you, and now all those endorphins are gone. And the promise you made about getting up early and getting after it to go lose weight, study harder, guess what? It's a lot harder now. That repetition becomes a lot harder now. So a lot of us can't do things on our own. So find somebody in your life. So when you throw that towel in, they throw that motherfucker back at you and say you're not done yet. Stay true to yourself, stay hard. You have to have the truth from people. Hey, you're not working your butt off hard enough. You're not trying hard enough. We all think we're trying hard, but what are you gauging that off of? Are you gauging off of, like I talked to this one kid the other day, college is kicking my ass. I said, what are you gauging that off of? I go, are you trying? He goes, yeah, I'm trying my ass off. I'm studying hard. I go, what are you gauging trying hard off of? Well, in high school, I didn't have to try at all, and I made great grades. In college, I'm trying hard. You're trying hard compared to what you did in high school, which was it came easy to you. So your reality is something you created off of something easy. So you trying hard is 2 hours of studying. I'm gonna tell you a difference in trying hard and trying hard. Trying hard is something in your mind just doesn't stop. We know 2 hours isn't enough. When I was 297 pounds and I was fat as hell trying to be a Navy SEAL, the scariest thing in the world to me, even to this day, was that could have been the rest of my life. I thought then I was trying hard. That's the scariest thing in the world. I thought then, 297 pound, working for Ecolab, spraying for cockroaches, making $1,000 a month. I thought that was me at my 100% potential. Come to find out, a few years later, I wasn't anywhere near that. 106 pounds less, graduated Navy SEAL training, went on to do all these other things. Looking back on that, that was me trying hard. That's why people gotta understand, what is in us, we have no idea until we start trying hard. So I've been grinding lately. Had to go back to the lab, readjust some shit in my brain, put a lot of miles in. Every day, run over 20 miles a day, getting up early, going to bed early, eating the right shit. This last week, started taking a toll on me. I usually don't think too much, get my shoes on, head the out. I've been thinking a lot. That internal voice that's been talking to me, talking about, oh man, you're tired. Looking at my shoes about 30 minutes before I put the motherfuckers on. Pushing back the time of that I go out to go run. So I decided to tape record myself. That internal voice I put on tape. Sounds like a straight bitch when I listen to that motherfucker. So if you ever have a hard time out there, tape yourself. Listen to what kind of bitch you're being.
I'm always preparing for not being a bitch.
Guys, stop being a stoplight. He was like, hey Goggins, why am I not getting better? I'm a big time goal setter. I run half Ironmans. I run half marathons. I go for that new promotion at work. Why am I not getting better? I asked him a question. Do you have fear of not reaching those goals? He said no. Because that's your problem. You're setting goals you know you can reach. And when you do that, that fear, that insecurity, that doubt, that's where you grow. He's not getting that. You must always set goals that you think you cannot achieve. And then there you get better.
You're probably in the bed right now. You're probably an underachiever. You're probably somebody who doesn't want to do anything with your life. You're living. How do you want to live? How do you want to die? How do you want to be remembered? That's it. That's it. Period.